Hello again, Squadron. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with the April State of Our Unit address. In this address, we're going to basically go over some quick information, and then I'm going to read you the 262 patch notes so you know what's going on in the new version of Star Citizen. Okay, I've changed the format a little bit of the State of the Unit, where now you can actually read the patch notes. Okay, and you can access these patch notes from the website. You just hit the link and it takes you straight to the patch notes. And I will include this in the upload because these are all Google Docs. Okay, it's April and 2017, and we have 18 members on the RSI website, and we have 20 members on our engine website. This has not changed in the last 2 months, actually. We haven't seen a new member. We need to maybe start recruiting, get into the game a little bit. We need to start putting out the word that we are recruiting, and maybe our numbers will increase. Maybe they won't, but more people we have in the unit, the more chances are you're going to find someone online playing when you're playing. All right, so keep recruiting on the thread. Even though everything's pretty much moving to Spectrum, as soon as there's a recruiting thread in Spectrum, we'll go ahead and make one for that. But right now, the old threads, the old forums still exist as well. I'm still logging in, still playing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Pretty much I'm playing every night something. I'm playing a lot of War Thunder, I'm playing a lot of XCOM, and I'm playing Star Citizen. I don't necessarily have any set schedule. If you're on Discord, you can always hit me up and try to link up, and maybe we'll play. And I'll even switch games if you need me to. Okay, I'm still working on our beta boot camp. That's going to be an ongoing process until 3.0 comes out. So don't expect to see beta boot camp actually get fleshed out until 3.0 comes out, but that's right around the corner. And today is April 2nd. Well, actually it's after midnight, so now it's April 2nd. 2.6.2 just came out. It went live, so download that, and we'll be talking about the patch notes here in just a second. But as you know, in 2.62 they've changed a little bit of the flight characteristics of some of the ships, so they're going to fly a little differently. FPS, they've disabled melee and some prone. You can't even go prone anymore. But that's going to come back. They're just trying to figure out how to prevent people from exploiting it. We'll get into that in a minute. But when 3.0 comes out, probably in a couple of months, 3 months maybe, when 3.0 comes out, we're going to be needing to play Star Citizen quite a bit. We're going to need to be playing as a team. So why don't we start getting together now and playing so that we can become a more cohesive unit. I pretty much said this last month, but basically we're going to be out there escorting cargo haulers because cargo is going to be a thing in 3.0. You're going to be able to carry cargo from point A to point B. What that also means is people are going to be able to stop you from carrying cargo from point A to point B. And so with that being the case, they're going to need people to escort them. And that's pretty much where we fall. We fall into that escort mission. Also, we'll carry our own cargo. So if we've got a guy that needs to carry cargo from point A to point B, but he needs an escort, he can call on his teammates. Okay, so we need to start working on how to do that most effectively. Okay, because we don't want to be left out to dry. If I set up a beta boot camp mission and you participate in that, that will carry over to our when the game goes live. So if you finish a beta boot camp class in beta or alpha even, later down the road we go live and I expect all new members to finish boot camp, you won't have to attend those classes that you've already finished during beta. So basically you can take your time, gradually learn the way we do things, and then by the time we actually hit live, you could be the instructor of our beta boot camp. Yeah, because you'll have already gone through all the training. But until then, the training's just going to take a life of its own. It's going to basically gradually morph into what it will be during live. Spectrum is up and running. We have our Spectrum set up. If you were to go to the RSI site and you find our little organizational page, they've got rid of a lot of the buttons that used to be down here, but one of them now is Spectrum. So you can click Spectrum and you can actually load up Spectrum, and you can go to, I'm going to have to move this so you can kind of see it. But yeah, you can go to our, whoops, it popped. So you can go to our Spectrum, and we've got all different kinds of forum threads down there. That's the new forum for our unit. Okay, we don't have a forum anymore on our website. All right, also, if you need to get into our voice chat and you want to talk to the rest of the squadron, you need to download Discord. It's going to be a while before Spectrum takes on a voice aspect. They just now figured out they're going to use Opus as their codec. So they're not very far along on the voice, and so they want to have localized voice and all that stuff, but I don't anticipate seeing that probably for another year. So get on Discord. We're using that for the time being until Spectrum goes live with voice. We're talking, this isn't really promotions, this is just who your officers are and what role that they have. Okay, this is just to help you out if you did not know. The squadron commander is yours truly, Lieutenant Commander Mr. Everything. That's me. Our Squadron XO is Lieutenant Paraset. Our crimes unit leader, actually it's our Naval Criminal Investigation Unit, is Lieutenant JG Nightwing. Okay, and this is something that's going to change. It's going to be I and R. Yeah, I've decided to change the title of this organization, this group right here. It's Intelligence and Reconnaissance. I probably can't spell. There we go. And we'll take that. Whoops, it doesn't need to be capitalized, huh? Yep, so it's I and R. So our Intelligence and Reconnaissance leader is Petty Officer Grubbalicious. Okay, so if you're interested in becoming part of our scout platoon, you want to be the scout or your explorer, or you feel like you want to be an infiltrator or a secret agent, you know, someone that's going to be able to sneak in to a facility, maybe gather intelligence, or if you're just wanting to explore space and you want to find where the best asteroids are, or you want to find where the best routes are to get to certain missions or something like that, the INR group, that's the one you need to get into. Okay, our Marine detachment is led by our Petty Officer Space Cowboy, or Space Reaper, Reaper 309, Phantom 309. He's changed his name a few times. He got a new job, so he's been kind of out of it. He hasn't really played in a bit, and he had said something about his computer not working, so as soon as he gets back up and running, he'll be back. But if you're interested in FPS or learning, you know, like turret gunning or defending a ship or assaulting a ship, basically anything that a Marine possibly would do on board ship or on the ground, contact Space Cowboy. Also, the Trade and Commerce Division, right? We've got merchants and miners, asteroid miners or planetary miners, salvage, you know, all that kind of stuff would be handled by our Trade and Commerce. They're the ones that would carry cargo back and forth, freight, fuel, whatever, Trade and Commerce. Right now, that position, that leadership position, is vacant, but by default, that's our XO, Paraset. He's responsible for making sure that our squadron stays fluid with cash. Okay, and then the Saber leader, that's basically our fighter section. The ones that do the escorting will do any kind of interdiction or anti-smuggling kind of stuff. They would assist the Trade and Commerce whenever the trade needs an escort. The Saber division will help with that. If Nightwing needed help with a bounty and he's going to go in and maybe there's a larger threat like multiples, he might call upon the Sabers to go along with him, things like that. And that leadership position is also vacant, but I have taken that on as squadron leader by default. Okay, now housekeeping. This is one of the last things before I go into the patch notes of 2.6.2. But if you're a member of the squadron, we expect you to be on Discord whenever you're playing Star Citizen. Not if you're just out there playing No Man's Sky or whatever. Whatever you're playing, don't bother with Discord. Or if you want to get on Discord, that's fine too. But if you're playing Star Citizen, we expect you to be on Discord so that you can be in discussion with the rest of your squadron mates. Now this is kind of a warning to those of you that don't ever log into Discord. You never go to our engine website. You never play with us on Star Citizen. There's only a handful of you that do that. But after like a month or two, if I've noticed this, then you probably aren't logging on very often. I'm just going to move you to the inactive roster. Okay, to stay off the inactive roster, all you got to do is jump onto Discord every now and then, or log into the engine website. The second you log into the website, it updates the thing that says "seen last." Like he was seen yesterday, and if somebody's checking the website every day, he's active. You know, if he's checking the website every week, he's active. But if he never checks the website for like 2 months, never gets on Discord, never plays with us, he's really not in the squadron, technically. So I'm just going to move him to the inactive roster temporarily. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the patch notes. Do I have those on the screen? I do. Okay, my 2.6.2 is just finished downloading. That's good. I'm at 100%. But here we go. We're going to scroll through some of this. Important issues. Clients will sometimes experience a client crash after going idle for 5 or more minutes. Okay, that's okay. If you're going to Crusader, Arc Core, or Mega Map HC, well, I don't know what that is. MMHC, Mega Map Hurston Crusader? I don't know. There may occasionally be a slight delay, 1 or 2 minutes, before the game matches. Oh, wait, is that Star Marine? No. I don't know what that is. I don't know what MMHC is. Okay. If I think about it long enough, I'll probably figure it out. But okay. Skipping all down here to Star Marine, they've added a headshot bonus if you kill somebody with a headshot. Last Stand now shows the number of control points captured, and enemy players attempting to enter a spawn room will be killed by the little laser beams. You cannot temporarily disable prone or melee because melee and prone have been removed because there's too many exploits right now in those. Something to do with the collision exploits. I guess you can go into a wall and shoot out of it or something. I don't know. So they're working on figuring those out. And now they've lowered the player count to 6. I thought it was supposed to be originally 4, but they've had it set at 8. But I guess there just hasn't been enough. Unfortunately, there hasn't been enough interest in Star Marine anymore that. Or maybe there is a lot of interest, but certain times of the day, like there was one time I was on at like 3 a.m. and nobody was on. Me and one other guy. Yeah, so they lowered it to six players to start a match. Okay, the Buccaneer has been added to the game, and you've probably seen a couple of my PTU videos where I flew the Buccaneer. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Mega Map is now enabled for multiplayer. Before it was single player, but now it's multiplayer. So if you are playing any kind of multiplayer game, your matches will load super fast. This does not apply to Arc Core or Crusader. With 2.6.2, we've added a support for very wide. Okay, yeah, you can do the 21:9 screen. So if you've got one of those double wide monitors, which I have at Best Buy, and I've thought about getting it because of the flight screen, because of the, you got the big cockpit, So the game now supports that. Serialized variables replaces some of the original aspects of CryEngine for handling data. So basically it should make the network a lot smoother and faster and reduce lag. We're going to find out here in just a minute because I'm getting ready to log in to Star Citizen and do a live stream. So if you're interested, watch that. Fix the radius of the black box mission area on ICC Probe Mission 7. Okay. Fixed an issue with ASOP terminals in Port Olisar being unresponsive. The Selin quantum travel nav point has been temporarily removed as it hampered selection of the Korea nav point. Fixed an issue where the wanted level UI would disappear after certain character actions. That's good. Fixed an issue where the radar would move dependent on terrain. Depending on terrain. You want it to move depending on terrain. Because I figured, like, if you look down, you want your radar to level out with whatever. I don't know. We'll have to see what they mean by that. Fixed an issue where wanted levels did not persist. That means you could be wanted, log out, log back in, and not be wanted. That's not. They don't want you to be able to avoid being wanted by just logging out, logging back in. Area 18, fixed an issue where the audio from passing ship traffic was not appropriately muffled inside of shops. I guess if you were in a shop, you could hear the things going by. Fixed a number of issues where audio would go missing in the hangars. Fixed erroneous collisions. Fixed an issue causing players to see the hangars in gray. Okay. Fixed an issue preventing players from getting into the Million Mile High Club. I'm not a member, so I wouldn't know. Leaderboards. I only like leaderboards to help me see how the rest of my squadron is doing. Okay? Because I look at the leaderboard and I say, I wonder how Aaron's doing in Vandal Swarm. And I'll go check. Because that kind of gives me an idea of how good of a pilot you are. I go, I wonder how he's doing in Pirate Swarm. I wonder how he's doing in racing. You know, and basically but other than that, I could care less how you guys are doing. I do care how it's comparative, like how you compare to someone else. That's kind of cool. So, and in effect, I guess I do use the leaderboards. But I don't use it as a bragging right kind of thing, like, oh, look, I'm number 1 on the leaderboard. I guess if I was, I would brag, but I'd post it somewhere. But okay. Corrected an issue preventing the game from and website leaderboards from displaying. Fixed several placeholder issues in game. Fixed the Pirate Swarm mode in the leaderboard. Okay, fixed an issue with the helmet radar staying active when spawning in a vehicle. Fixed an issue where back buttons becoming unresponsive. Aaron's found that one. We go into like an arena commander match together, and then he wants to go back to change his ship. He can't hit the back button. Okay, but now hopefully he can. Fixed an issue with the ship hologram becoming inoperable. Fixed an issue with the checkpoint numbers. Fixed an issue with old Vanderval where the announcer would state the wrong direction. And the Ring Commander in-game camera mode. Okay, multi-regional. Yep, changed all to best. Yep, fixed. Yeah, I've seen that already. So when you're picking the server that you are closest to, you can leave it on best and let the system figure that out for you. Or you can deliberately pick one. It doesn't put you in a different game. If you're in Australia, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand. If you're in Australia, and I'm in the United States, hypothetically, and the server that I'm using is in the United States, if you connect to that server and I connect to that server, you're going to have an incredibly high delay time. If I have a server in the United States and you have a server in Australia and we each connect to them, you would think we would be in 2 separate games, but we're not, because all the servers around the world connect to a centralized game that has either artificial or managed delays to every one of these servers. So every one of these active servers have the exact same amount of ping or lag to the game. So when I connect to my close server and you connect to your close server, we should have very similar lag or ping. Maybe not ping, but lag. We should have the same amount. So we should both be getting 30 to 60 FPS if our internet supports that kind of thing. Because those servers, even though they're geographically so far apart, Amazon is using a hyper fast light speed internet, right? So they have their own T1 line or whatever they call it. It basically goes super fast, faster than your home internet. They talk in gigs and not megs, you know, that kind of stuff. So they changed the option on the top. I know I digressed. They changed the option on the top from all to best. And okay, fixed an issue where the region button would stop working. Fixed an issue where the on-foot radar no longer orients to the ground. That's what I thought the terrain. What? I don't get it. That's what I want, and that's what I thought it did. But they were saying up top that, so whatever. Fixed an audio issue. It was Ace killed announcement in Star Marine. Fixed an issue where the start match countdown. Fixed an issue where the vaulting areas fall off the map. They should no longer match make into games with less than half the game time left. Oh, good. So at least I can get into a game that still has half the time left. Okay. Fixed an issue where players can go to the negative number of kills. Giving people lives. I don't know. Fixed an issue, continue. Fixed an issue where wreck would not be issued. Okay. Adjustments are made to the cooking grenade audio. Fixed an issue where the med pen while sprinting would cause the player to lose their weapon. Spot it's gonna change loadouts. Okay. And last stand. Fixed an issue number of medipens. Star Marine no longer has access to this. Fixed Terminal A on Echo 11 upstairs for the last stand. Get moved Terminal A. Oh, so they moved one of the terminals. Maybe to help play balance or something. Level fixes. There's a gap in the floor. Background image for Star Marine lobby. Floating props. They get rid of those. That's good. Shadow and lighting. Okay. Changed the term director mode to advanced camera controls. Okay. Social mode. Fixed an issue with the add contacts button. Contacts list. They fixed a lot of things on ships. First person added audio for the med pen. Made some tweaks to the rifle audio. You got enabled track IR. That's the very last thing they say. If you watch one of my live streams, you'll see where I use track IR and then I immediately tear it off and take it down. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking out this monthly State of the Unit address for the 1st Naval Aerospace Squadron, and I'll see you again next month. See you in the hangar.